Welcome to part 3 of integration by parts. In this video I'm going to talk about the LIATE rule and then what I call trick number 2. There are many tricks in integration by parts and we're going to talk about one of them. The LIATE rule. Well, the difficulty of integration by parts is in choosing u and v prime correctly. And the LIATE rule is the rule of thumb that tells you which function you should choose as u. And the secret is in the word itself, the word LIATE. And the L is for log, the I is for inverse trigonometric, the A is for algebraic, the T is for trigonometric, and the E is for exponential. So the word tells you what type of function you should choose as u, and we will understand this better with examples. So let's choose u for this integral using LIATE. Here we have an algebraic function that is x and a trigonometric function that is t. An algebraic function is any polynomial function or a rational function that is a quotient between two polynomials. And the trigonometric function we already know is sine of x, cosine of x, etc. So according to LIATE, the a comes before the t in the word LIATE itself. The a comes before the t. So that indicates that we should choose u of x equals to the algebraic function that is x. So the order of the letters tells you which function you should choose as u. The letter that comes first and appears in the integral should be the u. So this is how we solve. I don't know if you remember, but we solved this integral in part 1. And this is how we solved it. We chose e of x equals to x, but at that time you didn't know how I chose it, how I choose e of x. So here is an integral that we're going to actually solve now using LIATE, and in this case we have an exponential function and a trigonometric function. Here we have an e and a t. According to LIATE, the t comes before the e. So in this case we choose u equals to the trigonometric function that is sine of x. So let's solve this integral to show that this actually works. So u is sine of x, v prime is e to the x, u prime is cosine of x, and v is e to the x. Applying the formula of integration by parts, we have the integral of v prime that is e to the x times u that is sine of x equals to v that is e to the x times u that is sine of x minus the integral of v that is e to the x times u prime that is cosine of x. So now we need to solve this integral here. And how will we solve it? For integration by parts again. So apply LIATE again. Here we have again exponential and trigonometric. So we choose u of x equals to cosine of x. V prime is e to the x, u prime is minus sine, and v is e to the x. So we apply integration by parts to this integral, where v prime is e to the x and u is cosine of x. So this integral equals what is between the brackets here. We have v that is e to the x times u that is cosine of x minus the integral of v that is e to the x times u prime that is minus sine of x. Doing the algebra we get this expression. And so here again we have another integral, but notice something very interesting. Look at these two integrals. What do you see? They're the same integral. So we can apply an algebraic technique here. So we're going to add the same integral, this integral, to both sides of the equation. So in the right side, they will cancel out, and to this side we'll have 2 times this integral. So dividing everything by 2, we get the final answer for this integral. And this is in fact an example of trick number 2. Trick number 2 is that when this happens and you apply integration by parts and you get to the right side the same integral that you have in the left side, you can add the integral to both sides to solve the integral. That is trick number 2, and we're going to apply it again in this example. Here we have this integral. Here we have an algebraic function and an exponential function. X squared is algebraic, e to the x is exponential. According to LIATE, the a comes before the e, so we choose u of x equals to x squared. And b prime is e to the x, u prime is 2x, v is e to the x. Apply integration by parts. Here we have u x squared, b prime e to the x equals u, there is x squared, times v, that is e to the x, minus the integral of u prime, that is 2x, times v, that is e to the x. And here again we have another integral that we need to solve by integration by parts. I think we already solved this integral, maybe not, but we're going to do it again. By LIATE, we choose u of x equals to x, because that is an algebraic function, and then we have an exponential function, and the a comes before the e, so we choose u equals to x. So v prime is e to the x, u prime is 1, v is e to the x. And applying integration by parts on this integral, we get this. Here we have u times v minus the integral of u prime times v, and this integral is just e to the x. The integral of e to the x is e to the x. So we have this expression, and this is the final answer. So in this video I wanted to show you the LIATE rule that is very useful. It can be used in almost any integral and helps you to choose u and v prime. And then I wanted to show another trick that is used in integration by parts. Integration by parts is very tricky by nature, so you will get a feeling of the tricks just by practicing and doing many integrals. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.